Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Sowing a Bourbon. Charlie, what do we have before us tonight?
Tonight we have an offering from the Cascade Hollow Distillery, George Dickel 17-year Reserve.
Yes, and tonight we're going to find out, is it worth the money?
I hope so. I paid for it.
Okay, so George Dickel 17. We've done a lot of George Dickel lately, haven't we?
We've done one. We did one George Dickel.
Oh.
But for Glenn, that's a lot because Glenn doesn't really. No, I take that back. We did a blind episode too, so we've done two. We've done two. I'm giving him a hard time. Glenn didn't like George Dickel. It was one of those that he said, "Oh, I don't like it. I've never liked it." Then we did a blind episode, and he kind of didn't hate it.
Picked it in a blind.
Then we did the review of the 15-year single barrel that Glenn got at Meyer, and we both really enjoyed that. So when I stumbled upon a 17-year Reserve, I feel like we have to drink it, right?
Absolutely. We have to drink it and maybe even compare it to the 15 and see if the price difference is worth it. So, speaking of price.
Yeah.
What'd you pay for it?
So MSRP on this particular bottle is $250. That is correct. This was a release from 2016 originally at the Cascade Hollow Distillery. It was available in a 375, which is a half bottle, and it was a distillery-only release. Well, in 2022 and 2023, they released it as an everyday release. It's still pretty rare, pretty hard to find, but I just wanted it. So I found this online, Black Friday sale. I got like 20% off, so my cost is right at $200 to my door. So,
well, I'm glad you bought it.
I'm glad I imagine. Yeah.
Although you may change my mind here.
Yeah. So it is George Dickel. It is 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% malted barley. It is from the Cascade Hollow Distillery in Tennessee.
And a 17-year-old.
17-year age statement. We are in some rarefied air, especially
Absolutely.
nowadays.
That's a really nice color.
Almost like a honey.
Yeah.
Like kind of a honey color. Oh, probably should have mentioned
amber. That is amber.
That is amber.
Yeah.
Probably should have mentioned proof. This is coming in at a whopping 92 proof.
92 proof.
So a lot of people, one of the digs is, hey, wish that was a higher proof.
I can smell it already.
Oh, really?
And I like when I'm smelling.
Oh my.
That is
Sweet.
really sweet, really pleasant. It's got to me it has that almost that musty grape smell to it again.
Yeah, I do get a lot of like dried fruit, like honey covered dried fruit. It has a little rye spice on the nose too. I get a little bit of a tingle in the nostril.
Yeah, I'm getting that a little bit. There's a little bit of ethanol, but nothing.
Just a little, just enough that you know you're nosing a whiskey. Boy, really nice nose on that.
And there is some oak there, but not
a ton.
Oak,
it is not. It did not smell what I thought it would smell like.
And it does have that George Dickel, that signature
George
note
Dickel
to
smell.
It does, but let's just drink it.
George Dickel.
Cheers.
Man, you want to go?
Go for it. You go.
Really interesting mouthfeel. It's not like super thick, but it's also not real light either.
Right.
It's really well balanced. There's a sweetness, like not a sour, but like that dark chocolate. Like it's real sweet and real oaky, and it's an intense flavor all kind of at once.
It is. It's intense, but not overwhelming. There's some oak there, but it's not an overwhelming oak. Like you said, there's some spice there, but very well balanced. You've got your classic bourbon notes, the caramel, A little bit of the semi-sweet chocolate.
Yeah.
You know,
There's not a lot to say negative about it.
no, and
Besides the price.
the price, yeah. And we'll get to that.
We will.
So we just did a Knob Creek 18, right?
We did.
Which was priced pretty. No, what did I pay for that? That was under 200.
It was under 200. I want to say it was 179 or 189. A year older.
Yeah.
A little proofier. That was 100 proof. I will tell you that I think this is much better than that.
It is better. It's that one. I felt like it was almost watered down.
Fell flat. Like it was just.
Yeah.
Yep, it's bourbon, but it wasn't anything. And this is one of the things about bottles like this. If you put the word reserve on something, which a lot of people do,
And you put a 200 and
yeah,
something dollar price tag on
well,
it.
even exclusive from the price, if you put the word reserve on something, it should mean something. And it should mean that, hey, this is special. This is a special bottle. We think that you're going to really enjoy this because we took time and effort to make sure that this was George Dickel Reserve.
The word reserve itself, you're setting it apart.
Correct.
You know.
And I like this. I feel like I really like, there's a lot to like about this one. I'm anxious to see how your second drink opens up. I'm going on to my third.
Second drink's better than the first. You lose a little bit of that hotness. First drink of the day, so palate's calmed down a little bit, warmed up a little bit. I really enjoy that.
I do too. And there is a full disclosure, and Glenn hates me for this, but I don't watch anybody's YouTube channels. I don't read whiskey reviews. I don't get on anything like that. I broke my rule because when I was doing research for this episode, I went on to one and I'm scrolling through, and at the bottom of it, there was a review for it. I was like, well, I'm here. I may as well read it. And he said, and the only reason I read it is because of the price, and I wanted somebody to be like, yeah, it's worth it.
Right.
He said at the end that he loved it. It was everything that you want, except the finish falls flat. I don't get that at all.
It's lingering to me. I'm still sitting here while you're talking.
Yeah.
I'm picking out more flavors.
Yeah. And it's that awesome, not over oaked, but that kind of warm oak.
Just enough.
And there's a pepper note.
There is
like
a pepper
tingle,
note.
like an actual, not like a black pepper.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it like on the back sides of my tongue. Really interesting. I really like that bottle.
It is interesting, and what I really like about it is that peppery note. To me, gives it a little more punch than a 92 proof, what you're used to in a 92 proof. And I know it's two different things.
Yeah.
Spice and heat are two different things, but it gives it a little bit more kick, a little bit
flavor,
more depth.
Yeah,
Of flavor.
And that's the thing. When people say, and we have become this way. Glenn has really become this way, since we started the channel. You weren't a big barrel proof guy prior to this, but now as we go, you start chasing those flavors. Well, the higher the proof, the more whiskey you have, the less water. So there should be more flavor. 92 proof, infinitely sippable, incredibly flavorful bottle of bourbon. Awesome. I like it a lot.
I like it too. Now, let's bring out the 15-year.
Why?
Because I want to know, is this so much better than the 15-year that it's worth
So you just want to make me
over $100 more?
You want to make me feel bad? Is that?
No, I don't want to make you feel bad. We want to inform our viewers who may be considering purchasing one or both of these bottles.
He always does this to me.
And
For
of
those
course,
full review of this one is on, obviously, our YouTube.
And not that we're the end-all, be-all. It's just our opinion.
Glenn, we are the end-all, be-all. I mean,
Yes,
I think
we are.
everybody
I'm trying
knows.
to be humble.
I know. It's not your best quality. So this one is a 15-year single barrel, and this one is 104.6 proof. So
I want to
yeah, there you go.
compare the colors. Very similar.
Very similar.
So 100 and what?
104 versus
104
92.
versus 92.
Yeah. And so 2 years younger, we would assume, and slightly more proof in the 15-year. Price is where it really changes. What did that bottle set you back there, Glenifer?
It was around $50 to $60, somewhere in there. Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah, similar color. The other, which is strange that, I mean, it's not
I don't
a
know if I
tremendous
can tell the
difference.
difference
Yeah,
in the color, to be honest with you.
yeah. Puts a nice little ring around the glass. Different nose, though.
It's, to me, it's similar, but
different.
It's not quite as. This one's a little bit more. It's got a little bit more of that signature George Dickel, that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Minerally.
Flintstone vitamin.
I won't go there, but
I don't understand how people taste that on things. Like, I'm not singling people out, but when people say,
I get what people mean when they say it.
Well, I understand what a Flintstone vitamin means, but I've never tasted it.
I will say the 17-year has a much more pleasant nose.
It really does. Well, there's more like oak. There's more true bourbon, kind of classic bourbon, more rounded. This, I get a real floral note on this one now.
A little bit, a little doughy, a little bit of
Doughy,
dough.
like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, okay,
And not unpleasant.
yeah, all right.
It doesn't make me want to. On the 17-year-old, it really makes me want to drink it.
Yes, 100%. And now we enjoyed this bottle. Full review
we did.
on YouTube. Go back and watch that one. Let's see.
hit it.
Interesting. A little hotter.
A little hotter. And what's interesting to me is I almost feel like this is more oaky. It's 2 years younger,
Yep.
and maybe that's the proof. But, it's straight from the barrel, so maybe that's why. I don't feel like it's still good. I still like this.
I do too. I like that. I think it's good. But I think the reserve, whether it's perceived or not, maybe we should have done this as a blind. I really, really kind of wanted to crap on the reserve because, let's just be honest, we're in the content business. It's fun to be like, Charlie wasted money. But it's genuinely a very good bottle of bourbon.
It really is.
And it's very well rounded and it's very flavorful. And I just feel like even with the price, with the lower proof, I feel like it is superior to this particular.
It's definitely superior. I still don't know if I would pay
It's
full
hard.
price for that.
You could get 4 of these for the price of one
right.
of those, if you can find it.
I do feel like the reserve is more nuanced, though, and maybe that is because it's proofed down. You've got some of that alcohol out of the way, and
Let the flavors
are coming through. Two good bottles.
Really
This is it. If you're considering purchasing this and you're a George Dickel fan, I would say, you bought it. How do you feel?
Here's how I feel about it. Here's why I bought it. Number one, I was really impressed with this 15-year, and I thought, well, if I like the 15-year, I bet I'll like the 17-year. And it says reserve, and it's a limited edition, and the biggest thing is it's 17 years old. There are not, especially in today's bourbon economy, there are not a lot of 17-year offerings. No. There's not a lot of 15-year offerings. So if I have the opportunity to buy a special bottle, a bottle to share with someone and be like, hey, do you want to try what is essentially now a hyper-aged bourbon? Here you go. And I am not disappointed. I really enjoy it. I would buy again.
People are chasing and paying more for much
less. Much less. So
I like it.
Yeah. I'll give you a great example of, and I'm not comparing the two, obviously, because we haven't drank them. Old Forester recently released their 150th anniversary bottle. It is a 12.5-year 100 proof. MSRP on that bottle was $2,500.
Which that is more of a collector's item, and that's the market they're appealing to. I guarantee you,
not one
it
has been
doesn't
drank.
taste like a $1,500 bottle.
$2,500.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before with Old Forester. You and I both are kind of in agreement. Their hyper aged stuff, to me, isn't as good as their lesser
as the
aged
single
stuff.
barrel and things like that. But you know, I like this. I'm no buyer's remorse here. And if you have the means, or if you're looking for a special bottle, this is a cool one. If you haven't given George Dickel a try lately, shame on you, and you should.
Check it out. All right, Charlie, let's wrap this one up. Tell them what we would love for them to do.
You got to subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get more hard-hitting content like George Dickel.
Check us out on Instagram at So Into Bourbon, TikTok, Whiskey Realtor. Am I missing anything, Charlie?
Facebook, So Into Bourbon.
I already said that. That's okay, though.
Did you?
You did.
I said Facebook.
You can say it again.
Facebook.
Fine. Facebook.
So Into Bourbon. We could
TikTok.
use some more people on
Instagram.
Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
More followers.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready to tell them what to do?
I'm ready.
You got to keep your wallets loose.
And your bungholes tight. Good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Do the thing. Not a good song. It's really not.
It's catchy. Wow.
It wasn't
Coming
bad.
out of there. For Charlie, let's talk about what we have in front. Try it again.
Now don't get caught looking at yourself.
That's going to be tough, 'cause I really like looking at myself.